Very good morning, sir.
Yeah, very good morning. So, yesterday we are looking into the organization structure. Okay, so organization structure we are looking into, and in the organization structure, we are having a client. Inside a client, we can have a single company code or might be multiple company codes as per your client's business. If the line of businesses are different, you can make them as a different company codes. Okay, so under the company codes there will be plant. So plant can be a manufacturing unit, it can be a distribution center, it can be a warehouse also, where the business functionality will happen. So that point we can call it as a plant. So plant can be office also, plant can be your distribution center or manufacturing area or anything will be there. So inside the plant there will be some storage locations will be there, where we'll be storing the products, we'll be storing the items. And for this um, company code or let's say plant, based on the functionality, we can have a purchasing department or purchasing organization for this plant or for this company code. Based on the functionality of the purchasing organization, we can have it for the plant or we can have it for the company code, which can procure the material or which can purchase the material for all the plants belongs to the company code. Okay, so we will be discussing what are the different kinds of plants are there, what kind of different purchasing organization are there, we will be looking into it. Okay, so this is basically the organization structure. So if in the interview anyone is asking what is a SAP organization structure, in SAP, you can say this is the organization. What is a top organization structure or what are the organization structure? If someone is asking you what is a SAP organization structure, you can give this as a answer. Okay, so what is a SAP organization structure? So top SAP organization structure will be a client which will hold all the configurations and data for for your business. Okay, so this is the client. Below the client there will be company code. So company code will be holding let's say all of the financial entities or all of the financial data, financial information, it will hold under the company code. Okay, this is a financial unit. Then there will be a plant. So plant will be consisting of, let's say, any kind of uh, work process are there, let's say factory calendars are there, so this will be a part of plant. Okay, so these are the SAP organization structure. Okay, if someone is asking you what is a organization structure, so organization structure will start from purchasing organization. Okay, so if someone is asking you what is a top organization structure for sourcing and procurement or let's say material management, you can say purchasing organization. So purchasing organization is a top organization structure for the side. Okay, and this purchase organization will hold all the information related to your material and their procurement, let's say material supplier and their procurement price, all the details will be stored in the purchasing organization label. Okay, how the material is being procured, how much time it will take, how you are going to pay for them. So everything will be stored in the purchasing organization label. Okay. Next comes plant. So plant is same, where actual you will be having the uh, you will be having the actual functionality of the organization, that is called a plant. So plant will be under the purchasing organization. Then there will be storage location. So storage location is a least um, organization structure, and we will be having less visibility for our inside the storage location. What is happening, we will be having a very less visibility from the MM prospecting. Okay, in MM we can see most of the things from the purchase organization level or in the plant level, but storage location level only we will be able to see the let's say what is the stock is there, what is the like basically we will be having the idea of how many stocks are available or how much stocks are available. That much of idea we will be having. Other than that, we will be not having any kind of tracking of the product, or let's say how the material is being stored in the storage location. So we will be not having this visibility for storage location label in the MM side. Okay, MM side or IM side, we can say MM for material management, IM is for inventory management. Okay, so for inventory management label we will be not able to see most of the details. Okay, if you want to see or if you want to track the product from the storage location or from the least location, so you have to opt for, let's say you want to store the product, you want to manage the product in the warehouses, so you have to take the warehouse management. If the warehouse management is active, so you can track your products, you can do a lot of things after the storage location label also. Okay, in the storage location label also you can do a lot of things, but if you are in a MM model or you are in a IM model, there will be less visibility for storage locations. Okay, understood? Everyone understood or any doubt?
Actually, sorry, sir, I'm get joined late because my laptop is not working properly, so I'm joined from the manual ID.
Okay, no problem, no problem. We are just looking into the organization structure. We are just continuing the yesterday's class. Okay, so organization structure we are looking into. If we look into the full organization structure, so it will be a client which will be containing all information about your business. Then within the client there will be a single company code or there will be multiple company code based on your line of business or type of business. There will be multiple company codes will be there, so company code will be holding the information on the financial entities, whatever financial things are there, it will hold all of those information. Okay, then there will be plant. So plant, maybe it is a manufacturing unit, maybe it's a warehouse, maybe it's a distribution center, or maybe it's a office. Okay, any kind of thing can be a plant where the actually work will happen. Okay, work means let's say the daily activities will happen, so that is called a plant. So inside a plant, as per your functionality, there might be a storage locations will be there where you are storing the product or where you are issuing the product, and there will be purchasing organization. So purchasing organization, based on their functionality, they can be a plant specific, which will be only related for a plant to procure the material, or they might be a part of your company code specific, so that they will be procured for the material for all of the plants that is under the company code. Okay, let's say this purchase organization, I have assigned this to a plant, so this will be a plant specific. Okay, if I assign this purchase organization to the company code, this purchase organization can purchase or can procure for both of the plants that is assigned to the company code. They can procure for both of the plants. Okay, so right now you can see I have assigned one purchase organization for this plant, one purchase organization for this plant. So whenever you require to procure for this plant, you have to use this purchasing organization. So details will be looking into it. Okay, don't worry about it. Details will be looking what is a plant specific, what is a what kind of purchasing organization are there, we'll be looking into it. Okay, now if in your interview someone is asking what is a SAP organization structure. So you can start from the client. So client is a top organization level which will contain all the tables, data, and all the configuration, all the user details. So everything will be stored in the client level. Okay. So client is a top organization structure. Below the client, there will be a company code. Below the company code, there will be a plan. So this is SAP overall organization structure. For any kind of SAP is there, any module SAP is there, this will be the structure. Okay. So client, company code, and plan. If it's a SAP MM organization structure, if anyone is asking you what is a SAP MM organization structure, you can start from purchasing organization. Purchasing organization is a top organizational label for SAP MM, where all the purchasing related data will be stored inside the purchasing organization. Then there will be a plan. Then inside the plant, there will be a storage location. In the storage location label, we will be having less visibility from the MM side. Okay. Only we can be able to know how much product is there, how much materials are there, where to issue the product, where to store the product. That much of information we'll be having from the storage location. Other than that, how the material is being stored, okay, inside the storage location, we will be not having any idea. If we need to understand how the material is being stored, or we need to have a visibility on the product, how the product is being stored or how it is being removed, if we need to have a track of it, so we have to opt for the warehouse module. Okay, if warehouse modules are there, you can see below the storage location label also minute places also. Let's say there will be different levels of organization structures will be there, so you can have a larger visibility from the storage location also if you are having a WM model. If you are not having a WM model, slope or storage location is your least organization structure, where you can only be able to see the material or list, let's say quantity of material, you will be able to track it. Okay. So this is the organization structure. Now let's see some of the definitions for this client, company code, company code, and plant and storage location. Okay. So now first thing is client. What is a client? So as we have discussed, so client is a top organization structure, or we can say it as a organization structure also. Okay. This will contain all the setup tables and master records and all of the user data. Okay. So everything will be stored in a client. So every data will be client specific. Let's say you are creating a user for a client. Okay. So they will be only used for that client only. Okay. Let's say you are having multiple clients. So whatever data you are having in the client, whatever let's say users you are having in that client, that will work for only one client. Unless you are creating the same or transferring the same to the other clients, you will not be able to use it. So client is a data perspective. Every data will be stored in the client's perspective. Okay. Understood? Now based on this client, based on this client, here we are having servers. Okay. SAP landscape, when we have discussed about the SAP landscape, we have seen the development, we have seen the quality, we have seen the production. Now based on this client, we can have multiple clients in a single server or single system. Okay. So let's copy it. Okay. Now based on these clients, we can have multiple client in this systems or server. Let's say in the development system, we will be having, let's say, client 100 will be there, 110 will be there. Let's say client 120 will be there. Okay. So these are also a scenario which is possible. Okay, let's say in some of the cases what happens, your let's say your business, or as per the business scenario, so these all depends, all will be done by your basis consultant. So how many clients will be there, how many systems will be there, how the transfer will happen, so everything is responsibility of your basis consultant. We just have to understand what can be a scenario, what can, where we can work. Okay, so let's say in some cases what will happen, there will be three clients, or at least there will be two clients for the development. Okay, why there will be two clients? So normally what happens, they will be having one client for the development kind of activity, they might be having second client for the testing related activity. So if in the development system also you need to do some testing, you can go to this client 110 and you can test it. Okay, so by through the client you can transfer the data from 100 client to 110 client, and you can test it over there. In some places this is also there. Okay, in some cases there might be three clients will be there. So normally they will give one client access to your functional consultant, they will be giving another client access to your technical consultant, they will be having a different client for the testing also. So whatever unit testing, like whatever things you have configured, you can test it over here. And functional people, they can use a different client, technical people, they can use a different client. So this can be a scenario. Okay, similarly with the quality also, quality might be having, let's say I can say client 210 and client 220, let's say. Okay, so let's say in quality also there might be two clients, one is for your, let's say, consultants. Okay, where the consultant will work, or where the consultant will do their testing and everything. And there might be a client 220 where we can see the users are testing or super users are testing. This might be a scenario, or might be you can do all the testing related activity here, and in the client 220 you can do the training activity also. Okay, if you are having a different kind of training partners will be there, you can give them a different client access so they can train over here. Okay, so production will be only single instance will be there, single client will be there, which will be used to work on the daily activities. So these are the scenario which we can see in our real working. So when you go to work, you might face this kind of things, like different clients will be there for a let's say system, or for a server there might be different systems will be there. So each of the client, let's say here I will be having three clients, so I can give the access, let's say as I have said you, like I can give this access for functional people only to this client. So functional people only can have the access for 100 client, and if you are testing over here, so you will be also having the access over here. Other than that, functional people cannot have the access over 110. If this is related to only to the development team or ABAP team, it can be only used by the ABAP team. Okay, so that will be contain the user information also. So if you are going to give the access to the users, then they will be able to access this client. Otherwise, they will be not able to access. So client is data specific or user specific. User can have access to single client, or they can be having to multiple clients also. Okay, understood? Able to get my point? What is a client?
Yes.
Okay, so this might be the scenario you might face, you might see these kind of things while you are going to the work. Currently, if you are going to a dummy server, there you might find only one client, or there you might find two clients over there where you can work. Okay, so basically if your let's say if your user has been created for multiple clients, you can use for multiple clients, but in your dummy server you have to check whatever clients are available over there. Okay, so this is basically the client. So now after the client, there is a company. Okay, so company, what we have seen over here, this is the Tata group. Okay, this is the, we can say, the core company, or we can say the group of company. So this we can configure, or this we can say in the SAP, we can say it as a company. So it has no functionality, zero functionality. It will be not having anything. Okay. But this is for our understanding purpose. We can have a company. Under the company, we can have the company codes. Okay. This is just for information purpose. There is no use of the company inside a SAP system. Okay, so when we go to the SAP system, we can see what is the company, and what is the usage of the company. So mostly this is a, this is having no impact, or this is having no functionality in SAP. You might create a company, you might not create a company, as per you. That doesn't matter. Okay. Now, next to the company, there is a company code. So, what is a company code? So, company code is a legal entity. Okay, this is a legal entity, or this is an accounting department, and at this level, accounts will be maintained by the FI consultant. Okay, any accounts will be there, financial accounts will be there, ledger accounts will be there, that will be stored under the company code. Okay, any financing things you are seeing or you will see, it will belong to the company code label. So company code, it is a accounting entity, or we can say this as a financial entity. Okay, so mostly this company code will be related to your FI side, and you will not be able to, you are not supposed to create any company code, or you are not supposed to create any data for the company code. Okay, these kind of data will be managed by the FI consultant if required. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So next one is a plant. Plant, as we have discussed. So plant might be a manufacturing unit, or might be a operational unit, or might be a sales branch, or might be a, let's say, distribution center, or it can be a office where we can perform the, let's say, all the operations for our business. Okay, all the operations means, let's say there is a trading plant is there, so trading company is there, so what we will be doing, we will be buying and selling things. Okay, let's say there is a service industry is there, we will be providing the service. Okay, let's say there is a manufacturing industry is there, we will be manufacturing the products. So as per your operations, where your operations will happen, that is called a plant. Okay, next one is storage location. So storage location is basically to storing the material, or to store the product inside your plant, for your plant where you have to store the product. Next one is purchasing organization. Purchasing organization is basically, it is a department, or it is an organization which is responsible for procurement of the product, and which will be aligning with the supplier to get their, let's say, terms and conditions for the material procurement. It will be dealing with those kind of things. And purchase organization are basically four types of purchasing organizations are there. Okay, so four type of purchase organizations are there. First one is your, first one is your plan specific purchase organization. Okay, So first one is your plant specific purchase organization. So plant specific purchase, what is a plant specific purchase organization? When your purchasing organization is assigned to a plant, that is called a plant specific purchase organization, and it will be responsible for procuring the material for that plant only. Okay, which plant you have assigned, for that plant only it will be responsible to procure the product. Next one is central purchasing organization. What is a central purchasing organization? If you assign the purchasing organization to your company code, okay, if the purchasing organization is assigned to the company code, then it will become as a central purchase organization, and it can procure for all the plants that is assigned to the company code or that is under the company code. It can procure for all of those plants. So this is the central purchasing organization. Now next one is uh, okay, next one is a standard purchase organization. So standard purchase organization and so standard purchase organization and reference purchase organization, we will be looking into it in like whenever we go to the creation part, at that point of time we will be looking into this, what is the difference between the standard purchase organization and what is the reference purchase organization. We'll be looking into it. So for right now you can understand there are four types of purchase organization. One is a plant specific, one is a central, the rest two we will be looking into it in the coming classes when we will be going to the purchase organization configuration. At that point of time we will be looking into it. Okay, so basically, okay, so basically these are the organization structure. Other than that, there are purchasing groups are also there in MM side. There is purchasing groups are there. So what is purchasing group? So purchasing group is basically a buyer. Okay, so if you understand, let's say in your company there will be purchasing department will be there. Inside your purchasing department there will be some person will be there who is responsible for procurement of or purchasing of raw material. Someone will purchase the raw material, someone will purchase the let's say finished material, someone will purchase the service material. So these are the basically the person or group of persons who are responsible for buying the product. So these are called the buyer group also, you can say. As a let's say layman language you can say buyer group, but in SAP we call them as a purchasing group. So purchasing group is not a part of your organization structure. They are the floating units. Means you can create the purchasing unit for a client. Directly under a client you can create a purchasing organization, sorry, purchasing group. And this purchasing group can be used across the plant, whatever plants, whatever storage, whatever purchasing organization are available, you can use it across everything. Okay, across the company code, plant, and purchasing organization, everywhere you can use the same purchasing group, because these are not assigned to anything. Okay, these are not assigned to anything. We can directly create a buyer group, and the buyer group can and it can be responsible for purchasing the materials. Okay, so details you will be able to know once we are getting inside the SAP screen and we are going to look into the SAP screen. At that point of time you will be able to understand what are the different things and how it is distinguished. Okay, right now for the concept might be little bit confusing for you, what is a purchasing group, why it is maintained in the client level, or how it will be maintained in the client level. So might be you are having some let's say confusions over that one. So when we will be going inside the SAP screen, you will be able to understand what are the things. So now these are the organization structure we have to create, or we need to create under the organizational data. So these are all interrelated. Here you can understand, last time we have discussed what are the kinds of SAP data. What are the kind of SAP data? So it starts with the organizational data. So first we will be maintaining this organizational data. So this organizational data we will be creating, or this organization structure we will be creating inside the SAP. So this is the organizational data. So first we will be creating this. Based on this organizational data, we will be creating the master data, and based on the master data and organizational data, we will be creating the transactional data. Okay, so this is the whole concept is there. Understand? Able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, try to connect the points. Okay, so this is the overall thing which we are going to start. We will be going one by one on the data, then we will be looking into it. What are the different kinds of data are there, and how we are managing, or how we are using that kind of data. Okay, so first data will be your organizational data. So organizational data we have already discussed. So first we will be creating this organization structure, or first we will be creating this data under our client or under our SAP. Then we will be moving forward to the next section. Okay, so today we are not going to proceed further. So tomorrow we are going to look inside the SAP screen, how the SAP will look like, how you can navigate between the screen, what are the things are available. So we will be looking into it tomorrow. Okay, so today only 5 minutes left, so we will be not continuing. So tomorrow we will be starting with the SAP GUI, or we can say SAP screen. Okay, so in S4 HANA, there are two types of system are there where you can access the SAP. First one is a SAP GUI. Okay, so SAP GUI, it is the same as ECC. There is a software which you can install in your laptop and you can use it. Okay, this is the first type of system. Second is there is a Fiori apps. Okay, Fiori apps are the web based application. Okay, like you are using the internet. In the internet you are using your, let's say, Gmail, or you are using your Facebook, or you are using your, let's say, any kind of sites you are accessing through the web page. So similarly you can access the SAP from the web page itself, from the Fiori apps. Okay, so we will be looking into it, how you can access that, how you can use that. We will be looking into it tomorrow. Okay, it's fine, right,
Yes,
everyone?
sir. It's fine.
Okay, so we will be continuing tomorrow. Okay, that's it for today. We'll continuing tomorrow. Bye
Okay, sir.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.